The drivers, characters, and events in TOECAR are fictional. Nobody was harmed in the filming of this production.
On May 3rd, 2025, after posting so many pictures of triangles it gave me rotated brain syndrome, the TOECAR team announced their first ever special presentation, the Pocono 500k. Since so many people are signing up for TOECAR and so few people are making it in, the booth decided to throw caution to the wind, awarding the first 250 people who signed up an all-access pass to compete in the Pocono 500k pole day. On May 19th, all 250 drivers will be split into groups of 10 and try to land the fastest lap they could manage in the very fast but very unsafe open wheel race car. Then, after qualifying, the top 42 times advance to the main event, a 500-kilometer race where drivers will be putting everything on the line for the opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to drive the Plot 55 car in TOECAR Season 4's opening race at Daytona. Anyway, as you can tell by the date of this video, qualifying has already happened, the 42 car field has already been decided, and race day is tomorrow. I was lucky enough to be provided with some information about the drivers in our field, so I'll be able to bring you some lore that you may not find anywhere else. So with that being said, out of this sea of hidden gems, name sound-alikes, and bus-worthy entrants, who made the cut? Of course, it only makes sense for the Topin Wheel pole sitter to be an IndyCar sound-alike. Though honestly, I'm just relieved he's the only Colton in the field because there were like 3 of them. Anyway, Hurts-A-Lot has a lot of experience behind the wheel, but also suffers from some sort of medical condition where he's just in constant pain all the time. In that case, I don't know how he managed to get the pole, but he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with if he can get the pole while I'm doing that. According to his sign-up document, Chase is a police officer who wants more money. Simple and straight to the point, I gotta respect it. According to his sign-up document, John is a DoorDasher who wants more money. Wait, seriously? Again? 2 in a row? Lime A. Bean is a Kansas native who fell in love with motorsports at a very young age. According to this sign-up document, he went to his first race at age 15 at Kansas Speedway, where he was lucky enough to survive the Slim Slady incident?
Oh no!
I'm not sure, no! He was there for the season 1 finale and wants to come back? Oh my god, wait a minute. Age 15? Age 15? Season 1 Kansas was only 10 months ago. That means he's like 16 at most. And he qualified 4th? Hello? Chia Kid is an idol singer who was apparently kidnapped by an insane fan who then took her here to Pocono to take part in pole day for some reason. I hope she's doing okay, but considering how well she did, she might have just stumbled into a new career path. Lendrick Kamar is a famous rapper with several good albums to his name, such as Good Driver Bad Car, To Pimp a 7-Time Champion, and his most recent album, GNX. He loves the Buick Grand National so much that if he drives anything else, he will have a panic attack in the car. Did he have a panic attack during qualifying? We may never know, but he qualified 6th, so he's probably fine. Loves his family and has a weasel-like face. Not really much to work off of there. Carl Short is a whopping 4 feet 3 inches tall, so I don't know how he could see above the steering wheel, let alone use the pedals. But he must have a booster seat in there or something because he qualified in the top 10. Look out for this little menace on race day. Jake Blake has never acted a day in his life, but he sure acted like a competitive driver out there. Maybe a good finish in the main event will convince everyone that he's the real deal. As his name suggests, Chippy Ahoy is addicted to chocolate chip cookies. I don't know if it's like a habit or if it's a necessity or an actual straight up addiction, but apparently if he has too many, he has a really intense sugar rush. Maybe that explains how he drove so fast during qualifying. Let's just hope he doesn't have a sugar crash during the race that reduces him to nothing but chocolate dust. Miata Larson, part of the Miata family, is fast at everything, which explains the 11th place qualifying time. The problem is that he even talks too fast and can't communicate with anybody. I feel sorry for whoever has to be his spotter. Wait, will they even have spotters? Santiago Garces. Santiago Garces seems to be one of the more normal drivers here. He's worked his way through the ranks and wants to be in the big leagues. Well, depending on who you ask, he's made it. Kai Pod is the lone survivor from what was, in my opinion, the funniest group of names in all of qualifying.
Kai Pod in the 18 starting this one out. Sam Day Delivery. Cancun and 5 James Sr.
LSAO salad bar. This is my absolute favorite.
Diarrhea. Romaine Big
Romaine Big
Jeans.
Jeans.
Smegalodon Stewie. Secure for takeoff.
Matahio Matamik.
Cancun and 5 James Sr. is still my favorite driver name, and I'm so sad that he had the lowest overall time. Anyway, the problem with Kaipod is that the only info I have on him is who he's related to, a guy named Jimmy Two Shoes. And since that guy wasn't even on the premises at all during qualifying, I got nothing. Sorry. Dr. Harley Sawyer is a factory worker who has been turned into a computer for the sake of malice, I guess. According to his sign-up document, he needs to race in order to turn back. It doesn't say anything about where he has to finish or if he even needs to finish at all, but he has to race. Though, since he's one of the only drivers in this field to crash one of these Topin wheel cars so far, that begs the question, can he feel pain in there? Steve Drenkins is a divorced dad from Minnesota, and his wife took the kids. His love for racing brought him here so he can use the prize money to buy more big gulps from 7-Eleven. Though, we don't even know if there's going to be prize money. Tar Garrett seems to be Target's strongest warrior, and hates Walmart so much that it's rumored that he might try to blow up every Walmart within a 100-mile radius of the track. Well, that's, excuse me one sec.
911, what's your emergency?
Evacuate every Walmart in the state of Pennsylvania! Cyclone lost both of his arms and legs while fishing off the coast of his home country of Australia. He was found alive, washed up on a beach somewhere, and allegedly thanked the quote-unquote TOECAR gods for saving him. He's here today to repay the gods by racing in their honor. But, how's he driving the car? Contrary to his name, Happy World Peace has been kicked out of every major sports league in the United States due to his extremely violent tendencies. He says he's in a much better place now, but if I was driving in this field, I would want to steer clear of this guy, lest I accidentally get on his bad side and he sends me into the catch fence. Well, say it ain't so. I'm sure only in dreams did Weezar fan think he would make it into the main event after hacking together a car in the garage while on holiday. Though knowing how fate tends to be, all his progress might come undone and he gets wiped out in a late-stage caution. Unfortunately, that prediction is as much of a shot in the dark as me guessing that Weez's real name is Jonas. And since the world has turned and left me here and no one else is here for me, knowing my luck, Weez is gonna go Surf Wax America mode and cross the finish line first while the booth plays a bass-boosted version of the guitar riff from Buddy Holly. It took me like 30 minutes to write this part of the script. You better be proud of me. You ever wonder why most fairy tales have to do with someone named Jack? Jack be nimble, Jack and Jill, and in this case, Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack's entry into the 500k is different from any other driver's in the sense that he literally grew his car out of his backyard garden. He said he found some glowing beans in his soup, planted them, poured some royal purple on them, and a few months later there was a car in his yard. I'm sure this raises a lot of concerns about safety, but hey, maybe that's why the car was so quick. Franklin Fenway Jefferson Washington III, more affectionately known as Ol' Fart, comes from a long line of professional hot dog eaters. He's been a racing fan since childhood and believes that this will be the best shot at racing he's ever going to get. He's currently had 19 heart attacks, 47 strokes, and 0 race wins, but he hopes to make those stats 19, 47, and 1 come race day. Jack Oven is, you guessed it, an oven. But now he's out of the kitchen and behind the wheel, and honestly, I don't even know what to expect from him. I guess the only thing I can really say about him is to let him cook.
I would never cry to a Frank Ocean song.
He gets his musical equipment from the dollar store. I'm not sure what that says about his driving ability, but alright. His toes are made of cheese. I'm not sure what that says about his driving ability, but alright. Knight Tickleton is a second-generation open-wheel driver, and he's used lessons learned from his father Dwayne Tickleton to put up a pretty decent time. Be on the lookout for him. His past experience might give him a chance to contend for the win. Terry Bull, another qualifier from Group 15, the fastest group during qualifying, is the textbook definition of an aggressive driver. He's an experienced race car driver, but suffers from what he calls the bull mentality, which consists of trying to hit absolutely everything in his way. The issue is that these Topin wheel race cars are very fragile and very precision based. If the bull mentality affects him here, he won't be surviving long. He rules forever. You'd think a man born in Switzerland, the country that didn't unban motorsports until 3 years ago, wouldn't be able to put up a good time. But with some corporate backing from Toblerone chocolate, Toby was able to put together a car fast enough to make the cut. Let's just hope it doesn't snap like the chocolate that sponsors him. Okie Finoki is a gator wrangler and moonshiner from the swamps of South Georgia. He got into open wheel racing after he wrecked on a dirt road, tore the fenders off his car, and liked how it looked. We don't know who gave him the car, but we'll see if some of that good old moonshining talent will have an impact on race day. Toothache, like Colton, is in constant unending pain. Though with Tooth, it's because of his awful dental hygiene. This is his first time behind the wheel of a race car, and he placed high enough on pole day to qualify for the big 500k. If he makes it out of the other side of this, we might have a rising star on our hands. If he doesn't die from the unending nerve pain brought on by the tooth decay, that is. Jimmy Jugglenuts. Jimmy Jugglenuts is a former juggler turned race car driver. Born in Wisconsin and obsessed with cheese and allergic to anything remotely healthy. Can he juggle his way through the field to a first place finish? Only one way to find out. Buddy Sinclair is an experienced racer from Canada, but currently resides in the United States after being banned from Canada due to a rogue Zamboni moose incident. He wants to win at Pocono to show the Canadians just who they're missing out on. Spite is often a good motivator, so look out for him. Helium Castro Jet Air is an ex-Ryanair pilot turned race car driver. He's actually so lightweight that he needs to use bubble wrap in the car to protect himself. He claims his Ryanair experience has made him used to being rough with his maneuvers, but rough might not be the safest option in these cars. Johnny Spins is a man of many talents. According to his application, he's an astronaut, police officer, mechanic, doctor, garbage man, and pretty much anything else. He's now looking to add race car driver to his belt of jobs. He's made it one step of the way, now he just has to bring it home. Julie S. Caesar is a winemaker and Roman historian, and not particularly skilled when it comes to racing. But she was enticed by the idea of adapting to a newfound challenge and decided to give it a shot. And man was it successful. With that little experience, getting into the field must be a huge achievement for her. Though she's heard rumors that they have wine in Victory Lane, and that might be part of what's fueling her drive to succeed. Gaston Go hates pitting for tires and opts for fuel only during pit stops. He blew a tire on the interstate and has held a grudge ever since. I don't know if that's going to be the right strategy given that tire wear exists, but maybe Gaston knows something we don't. Coming in at a whopping 500 pounds, Big Slappa. Coming in at a whopping 500 pounds, Big Slappa is a rapper from the East Coast looking to make a name for himself on the track. He's big, he's tough, but most importantly, he's strong. His application says he was nearly assassinated one time but won in a 1v5 fight against his assaulters. I don't know how he fits in the car, but this might be one of the toughest drivers out there. Oh, there's a story behind this guy. Celine Dion waiters took 20 edibles, got on a plane to Pocono, started singing My Heart Will Go On, passed out, woke up at the track, got into the car, and put on a qualifying time worthy of making the main event. With that kind of luck, who knows what they'll be able to pull up during the main event. I have absolutely nothing to report on this guy because his application is actually just someone else's application with his name on it. Who let this guy in? Cole Buckerly is the sole survivor in his family after being victims of a freak accident at Kansas Speedway. Seriously?
Oh no!
I'm not sure, oh, no!
Another Slim Slady incident survivor? Oh my god, you'd think people would want to stay away from this sport after something like that. Anyway, Cole Buckerly is racing at Pocono in hopes of avenging his family, and I wish him the best of luck.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Wout Islav is a Kazakhstani businessman who loves horses and hates EDM. We don't know much about his driving skills, but they must be pretty good for him to qualify for the main event. I have to respect him for flying all the way out here to make the start. We'll see if he can make Kazakhstan proud on race day. And finally, making it in by the skin of his teeth and surviving the last few groups on the bubble, Optimal Crime will be rounding out the field for the Pocono 500k. Optimal Crime is a living robotic being who crash-landed on Earth millions of years ago. When society rejected him, he turned to a life of cybercrime, online theft, and pyramid scheming. He is competing in the 500k not as a driver, but as the car itself. He can just do that. And there we have it, the entire 42 car field that will be making up the inaugural Pocono 500k. We have a lot of interesting faces to watch out for, so I'm curious to see who the fan favorites are going to be. I'm not going to waste time with race winner predictions or anything because realistically any of these drivers have a chance of winning it all, but I do want to make one bold prediction that I'm 100% certain will come true. People are dying. I'm not kidding. Do not get attached to any of these people. The Topin wheel race cars are not safe. Like, treat every driver as if they have a durability of 1 just from the fact that they're driving these cars. We're about to set a new record. We're about to see something never before seen on Twisted Toe. Good luck out there, drivers. Godspeed. After posting so many pictures of triangles, it gave me rotated brain syndrome. Who says rotated like that? So we can use the prize money to buy more big gulps from 7-Eleven. Franklin Fenway Jefferson Washington III, more affectionately known as Ol Fart. Why am I using this? The entire 42 car field that will make up the inaugural Pocono. I'll be making up the inaugural Pocono. I did it again!